So first of all, this video is cursed. This is the third time I've tried to film it, and every time something was just wrong. I just moved into my new apartment. It's a completely new space, and I'm really trying to figure out exactly how to get everything set up so that it works and looks passable and sounds passable. It's very echoey still. I'm hoping more furniture will help tamp that down, but I'm doing the best I can, and we're hoping that third time's the charm on this one. But with that preamble aside, hello and welcome to this video. So for the last couple of weeks, I've been really feeling like reading, but not really knowing what exactly it is that I want to read. And so I thought maybe it would be a good idea to do a little activity, something that will help me come up with some books to read because I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed by choice paralysis. So I made a TBR jar. Now, I'm going to be honest, I also just really wanted to make one of these. I really like the idea of them. I thought it would be fun to try and use one to decide what my TBR for kind of October, November would be. So the plan is I will draw, I think, 5 slips from here and use that to pick 5 books that I'll read over the course of the next 4 or 5 weeks. One goal that I have going into this is I'm going to draw 5 books, and I want 3 of them to be books that I own. I do really love getting books from the library and having that be some amount of what I read, because then I can read new stuff that I'm really excited about, but I also really want to get through the books that I own. So I want 3 of the books to be books that I own and 2 to be books from the library. Besides that, I'm just going to draw and then see what I end up with in terms of my books at the end of this. So wish me luck. Okay. Let's go fast. All right. Slip number 1.
Starts with S.
So I need a book that starts with S. I've got 3 books that start with S that I'd also be interested to read in the next few weeks. The first is Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel. To be honest, I don't know what it's about, so I don't want to try to describe it, but I think it's like a bunch of individual people whose stories are somehow connected, even though they're separated by space and time, and it's kind of like metaphysical, maybe sort of science fiction-y, but not quite. So that sounds interesting. The next is Sweet Bitter by Stephanie Danler. This one is about a woman who ends up getting a job working at a restaurant in New York City, and it's very chaotic and more dramatic than she thought it would be. The last one is Severance by Ling Ma, which is about a woman in a pandemic who doesn't realize she's in a pandemic because she's so checked out. I think I'm gonna go with Sweet Bitter by Stephanie Danler just because I've been watching this TV show on Hulu recently called The Bear that's also about a restaurant, and I've been liking the vibes, and so I think I might continue on with that and read about a woman working in the chaotic world of being a waitress at a fancy restaurant. Okay, let's draw the second one. Great.
Bookstagram scroll. Pick 5 options.
So what that means is I'm going to go on to Instagram and I'm just going to scroll until I hit 5 book recommendations, which I think will be pretty fast because if I hit even 1 post from most of the people I follow, that there'll be 5 books in there, and then I'll choose one of those 5. Okay, let's do this. Okay, oh, here we go. So this is the Shelf Edit October TBR. I think I might just take the books in this post and choose one of these 6 books to read. I feel like that's pretty good. Obviously, I want to read Our Missing Hearts by Celeste Ng. That'd be awesome. But am I going to be able to get it is the question. Okay, let me try to get any of these on Libby. I placed holds on How to Fall Out of Love Madly, Acts of Service, and Our Wives Under the Sea. I think it seems based on wait times that I'll get to Acts of Service, which is about a woman who posts some nudes online and then ends up in this like weird threesome couple. I don't really know what's going on there, but I guess I'll read it and find out. That is really random. I've never even heard of it. Okay, cool. I'm kind of happy that that happened. But that will be book number 2. Okay, round number 3. This is taking a lot longer than I wanted to. Great.
National Book Award longlist. RNG a year.
Which translates to use a random number generator to choose a year and then only like the long list from that year. So let's screen record once more. So first of all, I gotta figure out how many years it's been around. Okay, it's been around from 1950 through 2021. To be honest, there are years that I definitely don't want to get, like the really early ones. So I might allow myself one respin if I don't like the year that I get. Let's see. Oh, 2018. Wow, okay, cool. Okay, 2018, The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo won. Not gonna lie, I did not love that book. But let's see what the other finalists were. Oh, interesting. Okay. Interesting. After much searching, I decided to go with Gun Love by Jennifer Clement. It was on the long list for the National Book Award in 2018, and it follows a girl and her mother who both live in their car, and they're very close, but then one day the mother ends up falling in love with this man, and things kind of change, and it's about gun violence in America somehow, I think, and it just seems like a very interesting, gripping book, and I've never heard of it. So this is going to be a very interesting month of reading with all books that I've never heard of. That is book number 3. It's taking so long. Okay, here we go. Let's do this.
Essay collection.
This one is actually perfect because I'm kind of in the middle of an essay collection right now. Well, I read one essay from it, and that is The Collected Schizophrenias by Esme Weijun Wang. This is an essay collection by a woman who was diagnosed with schizophrenia about how mental illness is treated in America and her path to diagnosis. So I'm glad to have gotten one on there that, okay, I don't own it, but I already had it from the library, so that is good. Let me think. So I've got one book I own, one book I've got on hold, one book I've borrowed from Libby, one book I borrowed from the library. Okay, so already I'm not doing so well on my goal of getting 3 books that I own. So okay, this last one has to be a book that I own. I hope that's doable. Okay. Okay, let's do. A book with a great title. I think I have to choose this one because I literally bought it only because of the title, and that is Love and Other Thought Experiments by Sophie Ward. It seems very like philosophical and experimental. Basically, it follows this couple who are trying to have a baby. One day, I think Eliza wakes up screaming, saying that an ant has crawled into her eye, and the other doesn't really believe her, and it's kind of about that, but it's told through 10 episodes, each based on some, what does it say, like thought experiment in philosophy, which sounds really bizarre and cool. And Love and Other Thought Experiments is just a banging title, and this is a great cover. So I think I have to go with this one, and it's a book I own, which is great. With that, I think I have completed this TBR challenge thing. I've got 5 books. Let's go to the books that I picked. First, a book that starts with S, I've got Sweet Bitter. Second, I scrolled through Bookstagram to find a book, and I ended up choosing Acts of Service. The author I don't remember, but I'll put the cover up here. Third, I got a National Book Award book that's on the long list, and I randomly generated a year, and it was 2018, and I ended up picking Gun Love by Jennifer Clement. Cover I'll put here as well. Fourth, I got Essay Collection, and I chose The Collected Schizophrenias by Esme Weijun Wang. And then fifth, I picked a book with a great title, and I chose Love and Other Thought Experiments by Sophie Ward. Thank you for coming along with me on this journey. I will check back in about a month to talk about what I'd read, my reading experience, and all that. Until then, I am looking forward to picking these books up. This is a very different set of books than I thought I was going to be reading, which I guess is kind of the point of doing like a TBR jar thing. So we'll see how it goes. Wish me luck, and thanks for coming along for the ride. I'll see you next time.